we'll hop on to the main channel. Stream is currently loading up as I speak. Yeah, stream's up, chat's up, we're all good to go. That's fantastic. Just be waiting a little while for the ready up signal to be given. Once it is, we'll get this underway. Quite typical of the American series as well. Attendance is looking pretty good for this Austrian Grand Prix, which I'm always impressed about with American series. These guys are always top notch when it comes to attendance. But yeah, this should be quite a lot of fun, hopefully, this week. Now, I do believe we might be waiting on one more. I think I saw 18 in the attendance sheet. I think that's how many we're getting. Just have to wait and see. But still, 17 is it's a lot better than what I've seen in the Pacific tiers, so I'm really happy. Let's see. Looking at the list as well, I think the only reserve is Bompton. I think in the Red Bull, everyone else full-time, so good to see. Attendance really strong. I'll quickly check the Discord, see what's going on. There's number 18, I think that's Stubley. It is Stubley. He has joined the session. And he's in the Aston Martin. Is he meant to be in the Aston? Oh yeah, he's a reserve driver, isn't he? Getting my leagues mixed up. Yes. Alright. Ready up signal will be given shortly. Hopefully. Should have everybody. Drivers ticking away. I haven't seen anything just yet. Well, there's a timer. Ready up signal or not. People are readying up. Alright. So we're going to get this underway. When the screen cuts to black, I'll start the intro as per normal. Hello everyone and welcome to round 12 of the America's Tier 1 Championship here on Race Spec Esports. I'm Lane Everingham, your commentator for this event, and this time we're racing at the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix. Formerly known as the Österreich Ring, this circuit was constructed in 1969 and has been the permanent home for the Austrian Grand Prix for over 50 years. The famed original 3.6 mile layout was shortened and redesigned by Hermann Tilke in 1996 into the racetrack that we race on today. The modern circuit that measures up at 2.68 miles and consists of 10 corners is widely considered to be one of the better circuits for side-by-side racing on the calendar. This is primarily thanks to the 3 DRS zones that lead into the prime overtaking spots of Turn 1, Turn 3 and Turn 4. Outside of those areas, the drivers will have to deal with the tricky and sometimes nasty final sector. All 4 corners through that sector have proved to be capable of tripping drivers up and will be accident hotspots during qualifying and the 2 races we'll be doing today, as this will be the 3rd sprint round of the championship. Now, before we focus on qualifying, there is a bit of news to go through. First, from last week's race in France, there were 3 incident reports. The first involving Mighty Wombat and RF1 Tom with a collision through turns 10, 11 and 12. And the verdict is that Mighty Wombat received a 5-second time penalty and 1 penalty point for having that collision with Tom. There was another incident between Little Nas and Professor Phil that resulted in no further action. And another one that we saw on stream between John C. and Take It Easy that happened at turn 14, the penultimate corner at Circuit Paul Ricard. Take It Easy received a 5-second time penalty for what happened there. But even with the time penalties applied, neither driver moves position. This means the final finishing results from that race remain completely unchanged. In the Drivers' Championship, Mighty Wombat is leading the way. He's on 221 points. Saucy is in P2 on 211. Only 10 points separating the top two in the Drivers' Championship. It's an incredibly tight fight, especially when you consider Blockman is on 191 points in P3, 20 behind Saucy and 30 behind Mighty Wombat. And considering Blockman's performances as of late, I reckon that gap towards the top two is going to shrink after this round here at Austria. Rebellion, his teammate, is on 187 points. He is 4 points behind his teammate, 34 behind the championship leader. And the last driver I think who has a shot of winning the Drivers' Championship is RF1 Tom. He's on 170 points. He is 17 behind Rebellion and 51 behind Mighty Wombat. It's a bit of a long shot for Tom to win this. He needs the drivers in front to have a few bad races, but he's definitely still in the hunt. Outside of the top five, we have KD on 122, followed by Young Lean on 112. Sub for Lime on 104, Mr. Nars on 100, and VSR Jack rounds out the top 10 on 93 points. In the Constructors, because of the form of Blockman and Rebellion, Alpine are leading the way. 378 points is their total, followed by Mercedes on 343. McLaren are next on 274, followed by Aston Martin on 222. Then we have Ferrari rounding out the top five on 161. Williams are next on 118, followed by Red Bull on 100. Haas on 83, AlphaTauri on 57, and at the bottom of the table is Alfa Romeo on 43 points. But that's it in terms of news. We can now focus on this session as Blockman has shot to the top. He's set the benchmark time for everyone else to beat, a 1 minute 4.811. KD here making his way through the final sector, round turn 7, round turn 8, climbing up a small hill and heading into the final two corners on the circuit, turns 9 and 10. 6th gear down the hill, he'll make his way around the final corner, very tidy from KD. Up towards the line, it's a 1 minute 4.880. He's just missed out on provisional pole position. Stubbly getting ready, so is Tom. Rebels out on track right now, making his way through the final sector. Tell you what, we might ride on board with Tom. I'll give you a guided tour of this 2.68 mile 10-turn racetrack. DRS open, heading down the main straight, crossing the line to begin the flying lap. Up towards turn 1. Hard on the brakes here, brings it down to 4th gear, clobbers over the inside curb, tidy exit. He'll open DRS and head up towards the left-hand kink of turn 2. This little kink here, this is an official corner on the track map. Now into turn 3, probably the best overtaking spot on the circuit. 2nd gear, nice and steady on the exit, avoiding the outside curve. That's a smart thing to do. As we head down the back straightaway towards turn 4. You get hard on the brakes, real hard, bring it down to 3rd gear, clip the apex, short shift up to 4th gear. We head around turn 5, a continuation of turn 4, and into turn 6, the left-hander. Bring it down to 5th gear, back on the accelerator, nice and steady on the exit. A bit of lag there, but that's okay. Exiting turn 7, around turn 8, just 2 corners left now, turns 9 and 10. Very tricky corners, very easy to get it all wrong through here. 6th gear through turn 9, down the hill. 5th gear through the final corner, using plenty of curb on the outside. It's going to be a 1 minute 5.430 P5 for RF1 Tom. Currently 3.5 tenths off Saucy in P4. So top 3, really close. Less than a tenth separating Blockman, Rebel and KD. So really, really tight. Stubbly's backed off. The Harmless will cross the line to set a 7.3. Goes slowest of all so far. I'm sure he's got more time though. He'll have another crack later in the session. Sub for Lime, I don't know if you're on a proper flying lap. We'll see. Making his way through the final sector. He is using battery, so I'm going to assume he is on a proper flying lap. Through the penultimate corner, then the final corner. Very easy to get it all wrong through the final turn, turn 10, as Sub for Lime goes 9th quickest with a 6th flat. what's so easy to do is running wide at the final corner, using too much of the outside curb. As a result, you will get a track limits warning and an invalidated lap, as well as an invalidated following lap. So it's really, really important you do not run wide at turn 10. Professor Phil making his way out of turn 3, gently applying the accelerator. There is very little traction exiting that hairpin, as demonstrated back in Pacific Tier 1. One driver in a Ferrari, no less, G-Force Ford, was having a really horrible time coming out of turn 3. Drivers do need to be very careful when applying the accelerator through that corner. Down the hill and around turn number 7 through turn number 8. You can use a fair bit of the curb on the inside of turn 8, as I believe that's Williams getting out of the way. That would be Mr. Youngling, who's about to set a flying lap. Professor Phildo will end his first flying lap attempt, jumps up to P8 with a 5.8. I must say, Professor Phil has had top 10 pace in the past few races. He's looked quite good. Mr. Youngling here making his way through the Niki Lauda curve, turn 1. And he's not on a push lap, he's actually on a preparation lap. So he's just trying to dump some of the extra fuel in the car, try and make the car lighter, so he will have a better, more optimized flying lap. Out of the final corner goes Saucy. He's about to attempt a flying lap here. Down towards turn 1. Entry speed of 201 miles an hour brings it all the way down to 93 miles an hour. That was the slowest speed he reached through the Niki Lauda curve. Round turn 2. Up the hill towards turn 3. He is down, but not by much, by only 17 thousandths of a second. And you're not really expected to find a lot of time in the first sector. The first sector is literally one corner, so you're not really going to find any time through there. Where you are going to find time, however, is through the middle and through the final sector. There goes Stubley, his teammate in the Aston Martin. 5th gear through turn 6, down the hill. He's up, and he's up by a fair chunk, I might add. By 0.4 of a second, he's found a tremendous amount of time in the middle of the lap. Around turn 9, 6th gear, down the hill, and around the final corner of turn 10. Really tidy run there from Saucy. Up towards the line, it's a 4.573. He improves by half a second. He takes provisional pole. Blockman, what can he do in response? It's a 4.630. Enough for P2 right now. Just a little bit off just a little bit off Saucy's provisional pole time. KD's bailed on this lap. Gonna cool down the tyres, charge up the battery and have another go. Mighty Wombat heading towards turn 4. He brings it down to 4th gear. Gently reapplies the accelerator. Eventually reaches full throttle. He was avoiding that outside curb as well, trying to keep all 4 tyres on the tarmac. Using plenty of curb though at the exit of turn 6. He's up by just over 1/10 of a second. Really tidy run through turn 8 using plenty of the inside curb. It is quite surprising how much curb you can use on the inside of turn 8. Tidy run out of 9. Oh, shade wide through turn 10. Fortunately, he didn't cop a warning, but he lost time in the final sector. As Mr. Bompton's jumped up to P5 as well with a 5.347. He's on an in-lap. As Stubley jumps up to P5 now, a 4.893 from the Aston Martin driver. KD on a flying lap attempt. Through turn 2, climbing up the hill towards turn 3. He's up by just a little bit, 38 thousandths of a second. Down the back straightaway. Might get a small toe here from his teammate. Oh, not really. Yeah, Mighty Wombat's a bit too far away. Instead, he gets well out of the way. Oh, but KD makes a mistake. Not one that I've seen all too often, though. Running wide at the entry to turn number 4. Rebels now jump to the top with a 4.401. He's taken provisional pole away from Saucy. That's quite a good lap time there from Rebel. Give you an idea, the pole time for Pacific Tier 1 was a 1 minute 3.995. That's a reference we'll use in comparison to America's Tier 1. John C. heading around the final 2 corners on the racetrack. Down the hill, round the final turn. Doesn't run wide, keeps the car on the curb, up towards the line. It is P11 for Mr. John. That is a 5.697. Just a little bit off Sergeant Bill, just slightly outside of the top 10. Tom getting ready. Now, is he going to do a prep lap? No, he switched on the battery just before turn 9. He's getting ready for a proper flying lap attempt. 6 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock in this qualifying session. Another cool thing about the Red Bull Ring being such a short lap gives you a lot of opportunity to try and set flying laps in a qualifying session. When you're at a racetrack like Spa, like Baku, Jeddah, out laps and in laps take a very long time, so clock management during qualifying is very important. You don't want to leave it too late. It seems that Tom here has backed out of the lap, so he wasn't satisfied with the opening 3 corners. He's slowing the car down, trying to cool the tyres off, recharge the batteries. He'll have another go. John's on an in-lap, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he is. Mr. Naz. Don't know if you're pushing. You are low on fuel, low on battery, so I do believe you're going back into the pits. My take it easy is. Flavius is going in the pits. The harm assist on a flying lap attempt. Currently P17. He spins. Oh, dearie me. I'm sure that DRS board just breathed a sigh of relief. And he wasn't murdered after what happened there with the harm assist. He was very close to taking out that board. Bompton is up by 1/10 of a second to the first sector as he makes his way towards turn number 4. Get on the brakes hard, bring it down to 3rd gear, back on the accelerator, nice and easy. 4th gear, 5th gear, 6th gear, 7th, bring it down to 5th, short shift. No, he won't. Use all of 5th gear at the exit of that corner. He's up by 1/10 and a half. Well, you did make a fair chunk of time on your previous lap. I understand you made a mistake, but still, for the sake of dramatic effect, you found half a second. Bompton crosses the line. He finds 4/10 of a second. That is a 1 minute 4.948. He doesn't improve position, but he's a lot closer to the top 5. Tom, an invalidated lap here. He'll make his way back towards the pit. He should have enough time to put on another set of soft tyres. That's it, mate. That's the mentality you got to have, Saucer. You found a merit. I was that quick. That's right. Now, Youngling's getting ready for a run. Sergeant Bill doing the same. This is, yeah. Well, fortunately for Youngling, he's going to do a prep lap. So he's not going to push just yet. He's going to try and burn some extra fuel. Sergeant Bell, on the other hand, is going for it. Out of turn 1, DRS open. He'll head up towards turn number 2. Yet in the top 10, he is currently 1.2 seconds off pole position. And he's up to the first sector. He's found a little bit of time. Ooh, but he's missed the apex and not a great exit either. Through turn 3. Alright, that probably wasn't the most ideal run. Can he recover though throughout the rest of the lap? On the brakes hard. Down to 3rd. Little bit of inside curve. Very tidy through turn 4. Very tidy. Up towards turn number 6. Brings it down to 5th gear. Back on the accelerator. Down the hill towards the middle sector. Split. Now he's lost a fair chunk of time. Down by almost a second to the middle sector. So he switched off the battery. Will he go back into the pits or will he have another go? He'll have another go. Fair play. Youngling getting ready for a run too. KD's out on track. He's getting ready for a run as well. So we'll keep our eyes on Youngling and KD in particular. And then we'll probably start looking at the Alpine Rebel who is out on track. Through turn 1. 4th gear. Very tidy. No oversteer. No wheel spin. No sliding. The car was gripped up through turn 1. Up towards the first sector split. Clock says. Down by a tenth, so it wasn't as good as his previous run. He'd be frustrated by that, I'm sure. It's not a nice thing to lose a tenth of a second in a sector that really has one corner. Up towards turn 4. Hard on the brakes. Down to third gear. Maybe a bit early on turn-in. Ooh, hard to tell from the camera angle. So we head up towards the middle sector split. What does the clock say to the mid sector? He's up by only 17 thousandths of a second. KD, meanwhile, is down by a tenth of a second to the middle sector. And he's invalidated the run. So he's backed off tremendously, putting it into neutral. And he's going to recharge the battery. Saucy making his way out of turn number 4. Ooh, bit sideways on the exit, but he kept it under control. Rebel making his way out of turn 3. Blockman getting ready for his final run. Saucy down by less than a tenth to the middle sector. Can he find any more time here in the final part of the lap? Climb. Oh no, he's backing off. He's backing off. He's not going to fully commit to the end of the lap. He's going to try and recharge a little bit of the battery. Rebel, he's doing the same. For some drivers not too happy with their final runs. Blockman, he'll have one attempt at this. Currently P3 with a 4.630. Needs to improve by a little over 2 tenths to try and take pole position away from his teammate. Clock says to the first sector he's up by 76 thousandths of a second. Good job from that AlphaTauri, getting well out of the way. Up towards the turn 4 hairpin. 8th gear, entry speed of 200 miles an hour. Brings it down to 3rd gear. Very tidy on the exit, climbing. Oh my word! That's Wombat! Gee whiz, what on earth happened there to make him drive off the circuit like that? Goodness me. Blockman's up by just over a tenth. He needs to find more time here in the final sector. What can he do? 2 corners, turns 9 and 10. He chucks it through. 6th gear. Down the... He invalidates. He pushed too hard. Pushed too hard. Ran wide. Lap doesn't count. P3 for Blockman. Saucy, meanwhile, crosses the line. Not enough. He can't take pole. Rebel's on a good lap here. He's up by almost 2 tenths of a second to the middle sector. 2 corners remain. Turns 9 and 10. Down to 6th gear. Doesn't quite hit the apex through 9. Pretty tidy though through turn 10. Up towards the line for Rebel. It's a 1 minute 4.254. That is going to be our pole time for this Austrian Grand Prix. Not a bad effort at all. And again, to give you an idea, the Pacific Tier 1 pole time was a 1 minute 3.995. Yeah, not a bad effort from Rebel. Assistant, take it easy, getting wheeled back into their garages. Once they do, we can move on from the session. Look forward to the sprint race. So there we are, results from qualifying. Nice pole lap from Rebel. 1 minute 4.253 is the time. Saucy in second place. He'll start on the front row with a 1 minute 4.572. A shade over 3 tenths behind Rebel. That is a seriously big gap. Blockman P3, followed by Stubbly in 4th. Mighty Wombat 5th. KD in P6, making it an all Mercedes 3rd row. Bompton 7th, followed by Tom in 8th. Mr. Nars in 9th. John rounds out the top 10. Then we have Youngling, Sergeant Bill, Subpolime the Pharmacist, Professor Phil down in P15, then Take It Easy, Flavius, and Insane Sparty will start from the back. 2.5 seconds separating the entire field at the end of qualifying here at the Red Bull Ring. Depending on the conditions, this should be a fairly straightforward sprint race. I imagine a lot of the drivers are going to start and only use the medium compound tyre for this sprint. There might be a couple that are game enough to use a soft tyre, but you know, there's a fair chunk of risk starting and using the soft tyre. Yes, you do get a lot of performance early in the race, but the tyres do fall off towards the end. And once they do, they provide no grip, they provide no speed. So if you want to use the soft tyres, you've got to utilise them early, and you need to create a buffer to those behind, so then you can try and hang on at the end of the race. We'll see what the drivers do. I imagine a lot of them will just start on the mediums. Maybe one or two will start on the softs. It is slightly overcast here in the Styrian Mountains, but there are patches of blue sky, and there's an obvious amount of sun around the racetrack. So yeah, I'm not suspecting that we're going to see any rain in this sprint. Alright, formation lap time. Who's doing what? I see a lot of yellow. I do see a fair chunk of yellow. Detail, tyres. Everybody know there's one. Thought it'd be one or two. It's one. Alright. Everybody, all 18 cars are starting on the mediums, except for one sub for line. Our host, a lobby host for today's race, it's not Insane Sparty, it's sub for line who's hosting today. He is on the soft compound tyre in 13th position. And why not? You know, try something different. Tom's disqualified himself. That's not good. Yep, everybody's starting on the mediums except for Sub. He's the only one that elected to start on the soft tyre. Alright, good to know. Sparty's doing a meet and greet with the fans on the outside of turn 3. He's rejoined. Hopefully his tyres are A-okay. But this should be pretty fun. As I mentioned in the intro, Red Bull Ring is pretty well known for creating a lot of side-by-side racing, particularly at the front of DRS trains. So hopefully in this sprint we get to see a lot of action. Hopefully. That's sort of what sprint races do. If we don't, well, that's just Formula 1 for you. Back onto the main straightaway we go. Rebel, he'll be lining up on the outside, heading towards turn 1. But what this outside line provides is the cleaner side of the racetrack, so he should get a better start. But Saucy, with that inside line, if he gets a better start, he gets a whole shot down towards turn 1. And in a race that only has 12 laps, the start is incredibly important. Bompton and Phil have missed their grid slots, so they've been pushed back. Alright. All 18 cars should be lined up, ready to run. We got 12 laps in front of us here at the Red Bull Ring. We're waiting for the lights. Where are they? There they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. The sprint race is underway. It's a nice start from Rebel. It's a nice start from Saucy. Not so great from Blockman. He drops down to P4. Stubbly up into third. Bit of carnage behind as drivers try and make their way through the opening corner. The midfield got through pretty well from what I can tell. Oh no! No! Sub for Lime and Sergeant Bill around at the exit of turn 1. But it's Rebel who leads. Stubbly and Blockman battling for P3 as they head down the back straightaway towards turn number 4. Stubbly just doesn't have the straight line speed. It seems to challenge the Alpine of Blockman. Mighty Wombat shadowing behind in P5, then KD in P6, then Bompton, John, Youngling, RF1 Tom will complete the top 10. Yeah, a bit of drama here in the midfield, as you'd expect. Turn 1 is a very awkward corner to go through side by side. And a lot of drivers towards the mid-pack and towards the tail of the field were going through that corner side by side, so it was only inevitable really that we had an accident. Down the main straightaway towards turn 1. Everyone about half a second behind the car in front. The gaps are pretty even. Except for those, of course, involved in that incident at turn 1. But no, fairly controlled. Everyone's still running. That's the main thing. Up towards turn 3. Tom moving about a fair chunk. Bit worrying to see. Hopefully it doesn't affect the drivers too much as Sparty gets by Harmesis, who made a mistake at turn 3 and drops down to P15. Should remind you as well that in sprint races here on Race Spec Esports, top 10 score points. Oh, Blockman off in the ground. Oh, contact! Oh no! Blockman, KD coming together at the exit of turn 6. Oh no! Oh! Gets it under control just about. KD completely innocent in that. Is he in? He's in. He's in pit lane. He checks it up. Oh, dearie me. The Blockman, he was wide at turn 6. On the gravel. Lost control. Came completely in front of KD. KD had nowhere to go. Slammed into Blockman, damaging his front wing. What a tremendous shame. He'll be starting, unless we have a safety car, he'll be starting from the back for the main race here at the Red Bull Ring. But what happened with Blockman? It's mean that the top 2 have broken away. There's 7/10 between Rebel and Saucy, but more critically, there's 1.3 seconds between Saucy and Stubley. Stubley needs to put in some good sectors here, try and close in on Saucy, get back within DRS range. DRS is ridiculously powerful here at the Red Bull Ring, especially thanks to the fact there are 3 DRS zones. Long DRS zones at that. Blockman on the recovery here. P13, he's going to make a move for P12 down the inside. Heading towards turn 1, he gets in front, pulls back across into the racing line and moves through into 12. Youngling's going to try and set up a move round the outside at turn 3. Forced a tad bit wide there by John. That's fair game. And here comes RF1 Tom. He's in the fight. Down towards turn 4. Tom's got the pace round the outside. He's lagging a lot though. I have no idea where he is. As someone has spun, it's the Harmesis at the exit of turn 3. John hanging on to P6 here. Tom on the back of him, heading through turn 6. Down the hill towards turn 7. Oh, gee whiz. Seeing a move like that, that's not a nice sight to see. Oh, and a spin for Mr. Nars at the exit of turn 7. He is backwards. He's now forwards. And that is a pretty poor spin into traffic. Thankfully, ghosting is turned on. Because if it wasn't, well, we were going to have a humongous accident. There goes Tom. He's into P6. Oh, clobbered over that curb. Oh, you can hear the floor just scraping along the curb there. Saucy, Rebel, side by side, exiting the turn 3 hairpin. They're now battling down the back straightaway. Saucy's got DRS. Rebel's got no battery, but neither does the Aston Martin. Down the inside goes Saucy. He moves into the race lead. Blockman moves into the top 10, overtaking Sparty. Yellow's out again. It's Mr. Nars spinning, this time at turn 3. Through turn 7. Round turn 8. Only 11% battery in Rebel's car. 8% battery in Saucy's. John, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Through turn 10, onto the back straight. DRS open. 7th gear. 8th gear. Entry speed of, I think that was 198 indicated on his wheel. Lost control, great catch. But Stubley now closes in. And he's got a ton of battery. He's got 43% to play with. What a critical mistake for this fight at the front as Bobton and Mr. Mighty Wombat are battling away. Exiting turn 3, Wombat should have DRS and does. He'll be closing back in as Blockman gets by Professor Phil. Moves into 9th position. I think that's the best result he can hope for. minus a safety car period at some point. Because the next car is Youngling. He's 6.3 seconds in front. Yellow's out. 2 yellows. There's Sergeant Bell, who was spun at turn 3, and the Harmacist, who was spun at turn 1. Keep our eyes at the front here, though. The battle is properly on. Right on board with Stubbly. This will be a good view. Here at the back of this 3-car train, battling for the lead. Lap 7 of 12 now. 6 laps to go here at the Red Bull Ring. Into turn 1, 8th gear. Bring it down to 4th. Clip the apex. Get back on the power. You'll open DRS and head towards turn number 3. Rebel, not too close. He's not close enough to battle Saucy through turn 3. So he stays behind in P2. Bompton under a bit of pressure. Oh, a little mistake as well. But he gets the power down. He pulls away from Mighty Wombat. And he's got a fair chunk of battery to play with. Can't say the same for Mighty Wombat. Through turn number 4. You can see the position changes as well. It is properly scrambled. The person who's gained the most is Insane Sparty. From 18th, he's up to 11th. That's what keeping out of trouble gets you. Over the crest, down the hill into turns 9. And the final corner of turn 10. Wombat is just not close enough. Similar story with Rebel in P2. He's not close enough. 5 laps to go. Tidy run out of turn 1. DRS open on the Alpine. Is he trying to save battery? Doesn't have a lot to play with as Bompton gives himself a 3-second time penalty, and Wombat flies around the outside. He'll take P4, but for how long? Rebel gets by Saucy. Saucy must have made a mistake. He was on the far right-hand side of the circuit there at the exit of turn 3. Looks to the inside, but can't get the move done. Stubbly's now right on the back of this. And Bompton's losing more time. So maybe something happened at turn 1, I'm not sure, but he's lost time to Mr. Wombat. He's now falling into the clutches of RF1 Tom. Back to the front. Through turn 9. Down the hill towards turn 10. Oh, Saucy's thrown it away! Oh no! Oh jeez, and that's not great, putting it back in the right direction, but... Oh, Saucy's thrown it in the bin. A mistake out of turn 10. He plummets down to 8th place. Deary me. Now Rebel only has 1 challenger, but it's still an Aston Martin. Stubbly, 6/10 behind, has got DRS and has got a fair chunk of battery to play with. Youngling, John battling away. This is for P6. John has DRS, he can counterattack, but so does Youngling. He has DRS to play with too. In turn 4, John can't do a thing. If Youngling didn't have DRS, I reckon John could have taken back the position, but he couldn't. Stay behind. What can Stubbly do? Can he challenge for the sprint race win? He's got the battery advantage. He's a little bit far behind though, 7/10 behind. Needs to try and claw away at that gap, chip it down. Doing exactly that. It's now 6/10, 3 laps to go. Through turn 1. DRS open, he'll close the gap again. Bompton's now got his mojo back. He's closing in on Mighty Wombat. Yellow's out, and I believe that is the Harmacist. No, it's Sergeant Bill. Both Alfa Romeos having a torrid race. Stubbly going for the move. Fairly simple overtake, well before turn 4. Oh, and Flavius is spun at turn 1. You rejoin down in 15th position as Sergeant Bill goes into the pits. And a speeding penalty to boot. He's probably retiring from the session, is he? Yeah, there you go. So he'll be starting from plumb last for the main race here at the Red Bull Ring. Round turn 9, down the hill and around turn 10. Onto the main straight. Stubbly moves to the inside. Make sure he doesn't give Rebel the slipstream down the main straightaway. DRS open again on Rebel's car. Sitting in the slipstream. Got plenty of straight line speed in that Alpine. Stubbly covers. Oh, contact! Light contact at turn 3. Rebel not reading what Stubbly was up to there at turn 3. Stubbly checked up quite a lot at the apex, just to try and make sure that Rebel didn't get the over-under. Rebel didn't read it and ran straight into the back of the Aston Martin. We've got a 3-car fight going on here as well. This is for P3, though I can't say that Bompton's really in the fight. Oh, but neary me, Rebel's just given himself a 3-second time penalty. Oh, what a shame. This battle for the win was going to be incredibly interesting, but it's now all meaningless, really. Rebel can overtake him all he likes, but those 3 seconds are going to hold him back. Oh, that's a shame. I hate time penalties, because they interfere with stuff like this. Like, this would be awesome, a 3-car fight right here, but ultimately it means nothing, because even if Bompton can get by, the only person who can challenge Wombat for P3 is Tom, who is actually making a move around the outside of turn 3. Oh, contact though, between the 2 cars, exiting the hairpin. Gee whiz, that was weird. Now the gap's 8 tenths. Well, if Wombat doesn't make a mistake, he should be alright. He's also got a little bit extra fuel, so fuel shouldn't be a concern. Oh, what a tremendous shame. I was really looking forward to this duel, but it's ultimately meaningless. Rebel's time penalty will cement himself in second position at the end of this race. Can't take it away from Stubbly though, he's driven quite well. Deserves a sprint race win here in Austria. Rebel home in second, it'll be Mighty Wombat who finishes in third. Tom fourth, followed by Bompton. We have Youngling finishing in P5 thanks to Bompton's time penalty. Saucy in 7th place after his mistake. Blockman recovers to 8th, so he gained 1 extra spot from what I predicted earlier. Professor Phil will score the final point in P10. Then we have Sparty and Mr. Nars up towards the line. P11 for Sparty. And I believe KD's overtaken Sufferline. No, Sufferline has made a mistake. He plummets down to P15. And there's Take It Easy. Oh. Around the final corner goes the harnessist, up towards the line. He'll be our final finisher in 17th position. Ah, that's a shame. I was really looking forward to that finish, but the time penalty just made it meaningless. So, congrats to Stubbly for his performance. Youngling given driver of the day. We'll see his performance in the final results screen. The unofficial results. The sprint race here at the Red Bull Ring. It's Stubbly who wins, Rebel home in second, followed by Mighty Wombat in third, Tom fourth. Youngling moved up from 11th to 5th, so yeah, fair enough to be given driver of the day. Bompton P6, followed by Saucy, Blockman, John. Professor Phil will score a point in P10. Then we have Insane Smarty moved up from 18th to 11th. He drove quite well. Mr. Nars 12th, KD in 13th. An unavoidable accident with Blockman at the exit of turn 9. Pushed him down the order. Turn 9, turn 6. Pushed him down the order. Then we have Flavius, Sufferline, Take It Easy. The harnessist, our final finisher. And Sergeant Bill retiring. He will start from plumb last. Alright. Race time. And it is clear. Nothing but blue skies and a ton of sunlight. Good to see. Alright. I wonder if the drivers will make any setup changes at all. I imagine they won't. I would think they'll be more focused on adjusting the strategy and adjusting the fuel load for this Grand Prix. Because Well, as Pacific Tier 1 proved, there is a decent chance of a safety car around this circuit, especially with how much drama it can produce. So, you know, running a bit lower might prove beneficial, but again, you're running the risk of running out of fuel if it's green flag from start to finish. So, yeah. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Sort of situation. You can run with extra fuel, which means you guarantee yourself, you know, the ability to finish the race without running out of fuel. But if there's several safety car periods, 1 lap extra can turn into 5 laps, 6 laps extra very quick. And your car turns into a boat after that, compared to everybody else's who ran low. I would be also curious to see who starts on the mediums and who starts on the hards. Don't really think the soft tyre is an option in the main race unless we have a late safety car. So yeah, it's either medium hard or hard medium here at the Red Bull Ring. I imagine a couple towards the front might be game enough to start on the medium compound tyre, try and pull away early from their rivals behind, try and build up a gap. Those towards the back might be a lot more conservative in approach, and they'll start on the hard tyre, try and survive for a bit, chip away at positions if they can, but ultimately just try and survive. And if there's a safety car they can luck themselves into, they can put themselves in a very strong strategical position. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see who starts on what tyre. And we'll get to see who starts on what tyre once that clock hits 0 and we go through our second formation lap. Alrighty. Who's starting on what then? Let's have a look. Come on, game. Come on. Show me the grid. There we go. Oh, that's a set of mediums on Stubley's car. That is a set of mediums on Tom's car, I believe. It is. Okay, this is more mixed than I thought it was going to be. And my predictions aren't completely correct. So a couple towards the front have elected to start on the mediums. We'll run through the order just quickly. We have Stubley starting from pole position for the main race here at the Red Bull Ring. We have Rebel starting alongside him. He's on the hard compound tyre compared to Stubley on the mediums. Wombat's doing the same as Rebel. He's starting on the hard tyres. Tom is doing the same as Stubley. He's starting on the mediums. Gee whiz, he's lagging a lot. Yeah, look at him. Youngling, who's going to have a hard time passing that McLaren, he's on the hard tyre. Bompton in P6 is starting on the mediums. Saucy in P7, Blockman in P8, ooh, hello, and John C in P9 are starting on the hards. Professor Phil, Insane Sparty, and Mr. Nars are starting on the mediums. KD is starting on the hard tyre. Flavius is doing the same in P14. Some for Lime and Take It Easy are starting on the medium, so they're hoping to try and make up positions early in the race. Try and compensate later on. Whereas the two Alfa Romeos, they're probably going to be fairly conservative. They're both starting on the hard compound tyre. So yeah, proper mix-up in terms of strategy. We have got 8 drivers starting on the mediums. That means 10 on the hards. It's almost a 50-50 split. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And for whatever reason, Subfalime is taking a really long time getting his tyres up to temperature. Taking a very, very long time. We're going to have to wait a while. Leaders are making their way back onto the grid. There goes, I believe that was KD off the racetrack. Oh, Saucy's missed his grid slot, so he's been pushed back. Youngling's lining up into his grid slot. And he's kind of missed it. He's Alonso'd it. I think Stubley's done the same. Alright, we'll get rid of the tyre graphic for the start. We'll get ready for this race to get underway. There goes Sub for Line. Take It Easy. That counts? You're kidding. Oh, that's amazing. What a grid lineup from Take It Easy. Alright, they're all ready to race. We've got 36 laps in front of us and 5 red lights. The main race is underway here at the Red Bull Ring. It's a nice start from Stubbly. It's a nice start from Tom as well. Can't quite find Mighty Wombat into turn 1 though. The leaders make their way through unscathed, but those behind, I can't say the same. Bit of contact going on here. It's taking easy drops down. Oh, it's 3 wide, almost exiting turn 1. Gee whiz. So a lot of drivers moving about heading into turn 1, but fortunately everyone gets through pretty unscathed. Yeah, a bit tight here in the middle of the pack. Oh, a huge slide there from Professor Phil. Humongous slide. He drops down the order, down to P12. Oh, Tom, he is going to be really, really, really painful during this opening stint in the race with him jumping around like that. But no, a really solid start from our front runners. Stubbly is still leading the way. Rebel in P2, Wombat P3, Tom still in 4th, and Youngling in P5. Yeah, really, really tidy. Well done. KD's made up a few spots. He's up into P11. I think Bompton has lost a place. He lost 2. Now behind Saucy and Blockman. Sergeant Bell up 3. Insane Sparty down 5. Subfaline down 3. Wombat round the outside of turn 1. Oh, and Tom's around. Tom is around. Oh, gee whiz. With how much he's been moving, I'm not terribly surprised. Whoa, what on earth? Did he reset? I don't know. Rebel, Stubbly, battling away, heading down the back straightaway towards turn 4. Rebel gets in front, sector 2 yellows, it's Mr. Nars. Exiting turn 4, 3/10 of a second is the gap between the top 2. Yellow's out. Oh, the harnesses. Oh my goodness. A humongous crash entering turn 4. We have a safety car. Tom is involved. Sparty's involved. Anybody else? What about Subfalom? Is his car okay? Yeah, front wing looks okay. Same with Flavius. Sergeant Bill, let me have a look at your front wing. That's KD. His wing looks fine. Everyone else looks okay. So I think the only 2 involved is Tom and Sparty, and I would not be surprised if that was because of Tom's lag. I would not be surprised at all. The Sparty's wing is completely destroyed. Tom, he's got a missing end plate. And that's a bit of a no-no. You're not allowed to cross the pit lane white line at entry. I do believe that will be classed as an illegal overtake. If Mr. Nars reports that in. Sparty stays out. What? Why? Staying out for another lap. I do not understand why he has not come in. Guess we'll find out later. Tom and Mr. Nars leaving the pits. They're on fresh tyres, and they shouldn't have a delta to race against either, so they're allowed to go as fast as they want to. Yeah, Sparty's got a completely destroyed front wing, and he's not come in for some reason. Just electing to stay out another lap, maybe give himself some slightly fresher tyres, maybe, for this middle stint. I don't know. He's now joined the back of the train. So, no one else is pit. No one else has elected to pit except for Tom and Mr. Nars. That's it. Smarty's now pulling off to the side. Guide the car around, nice and easy. And he comes. Mr. Nars on soft tyres. Tom. What happened to Tom? He's now... Eesh. He was in front. Oh, he's in. Oh, big old slide through turn 9. He's back in. What? He's retired. Yeah, he's had enough, I guess. His lag was quite noticeable today, and I can't help but feel that was the cause of the incident between Sparty and Tom. There was an incident in turn 1 involving Tom and Wombat, and I have a feeling lag was probably going to be involved in that one. So, ooh, Rebel, gee whiz. Big old tank slapper coming out of turn 4. Almost lost control of the car. Alright, we're down to 16. We are down to 16. We've still got a long way to go. Alright, we'll be doing one more lap behind the safety car, and then the safety car lights will be switched off and Rebel will take control of the field. We'll have a quick look at position change right now. We'll run through the order. So Rebel up in position, Stubbly down 1, so the front row drivers have swapped places. Wombat still in 3rd, Youngling up 1, Nars and Lime are in. So Nars moving on to the hard tyre. Soft tyres for sub. What? Softs? I am mega confused. Why would you pick for softs? Eh? I'm lost. I'm very lost. Anyway. Saucy. P5 up 2 positions. Blockman's up 2. Bompton down 1. John up 1. KD up 4. He's driven pretty well after the start. Take it easy. Up 6. He's done quite well. Professor Phil down 1, just behind his teammate. Then Sergeant Bell up 6. He's kept out of trouble. He's up positions. Flavius up 1. Sparty down 3 after that incident. Sub for Lime has pitted for softs. And Mr. Nars, well, he's pitted back onto the hard tyre. That makes sense. You know, that way he meets the tyre compound requirement. Right, we'll get rid of that for a little while, just for this restart lap. Then we'll start bringing back the detail stuff. Toodles, virtual burned Maylander. It's now Rebel who controls the field. Right on board with him. Oh, he's taken off. Through turn 10. Back onto the main straightaway. The gap is 0.6 of a second between P1 and 2 as the Harnesses has left the session as well. It's lap 6 of 36. We've got 31 laps to go. Through turn 1. Up the hill now towards turn 2. Oh, and a spin in the background. It's Youngling. I'll catch up to him. Yeah. Where is it? There you are. There he is. He's now down to last. A spin at turn 1. Subline. Flavius battling away. Down the inside. And Flavius gets him. Okay, weird. Subline wasn't able to pass. Weird. Anyway. Side by side. Sparty. Bill. Down towards turn 4. Sparty to the inside. Bill's trying to keep the fight alive around the outside. Sparty's giving him room that they still made contact. And around goes Bill. Oh my word. Flavius, he seemed to have slowed down as well. What on earth is happening in this American Series race? Drama everywhere. 7.9 is the lap time for Rebel there. New fastest lap as we head up the hill towards turns 2 and 3. Stubbly, he's in a bit of a tricky spot now. Those mediums should still be pretty good. Only 7 laps old. 6 laps. So, should still have pace. Wombat in that leading trio. Saucy just outside of that 1 second range. Bompton within that 1 second range to Blockman. So we've got a bit of a train forming with the top 6 cars. And then we have John about 2.3 seconds back from Bompton on the hard tyre. He has KD closing in at a rate of knots. Exiting turn number 6, heading through turn 7. Round turn 8, up towards turns 9 and 10. Suffolone closing in on Sparty on those soft tyres. He is going to be quite quick. Can't go for a move just yet. Rebel really does have the pace right now. He's going to be a tricky driver to beat. KD closing in here on John. Keep an eye on this through turn 1. Poor run from John. Switches on the battery, KD. Slingshots by. One tiny mistake, that's all it takes. Through goes KD. Sub closing in. Draws along the... Oh, and Youngling's made another mistake at turn 1. Oh, dearie me. Mr. Nas trying to have a go here as well. Down towards turn 4. Who's got the speed? It's Sparty in P11. He's got the speed. Nas doesn't go for the attack. Stays behind in P13. Up towards turn 6. Line close, just not close enough to do anything through this sector. Wombat starting to lose time as well to the top 2. Rebel with an 8/10 margin to Stubley. Stubley's got 1.5 seconds to Mighty Wombat as John pits in. Interesting. Fairly early. Oh, a bit wide there from Mighty Wombat. John's retired. I don't know why he's retired. Maybe there's something he has to attend to because he was in the points. So I think something's happened with John, so he's had to retire from the race. Blockman close, stuffing the battery, looks to the inside. Doesn't commit to the move. Some random has joined the lobby. Up towards turn 6. 5th gear, round the corner. Down the hill and around turn 7. Nice and tidy from Blockman so far. It'll be interesting to see if he can get himself into a position where he could win this race. He's on the hard tyre, like with Saucy, like with Mighty Wombat. Can he put himself in a strong enough position to try and win? Definitely capable enough of doing it. Right now, they're losing time to the leading 2 of Rebel and Stubley. Stubley has got good pace right now. He's keeping up with Rebel. Probably thanks to the DRS as well that he's getting. Rebel right now has got all the pace in the world, even on the hard tyre. He is going to be really, really tough to beat. Blockman looking to the inside here, heading towards turn 4, sends it in. It's close. They get round the right-hand hairpin. They head around turn 5, up towards turn 6. Blockman looking round the outside here at the left-hander. Sends it round, draws alongside still. He's not giving up. Looking round the outside at turn 7. Now has the inside line through 8. He's got the nose in front. He gets in front. Great battling between these 2. Through turn 9, down the hill. Round turn 10. Rebel sets a new fastest lap, a 7.732. Showing ever increasing pace. Bompton just behind. Through turn 1. A bit too hot. Into the corner there. A poor exit. Bompton's got battery. He's got DRS. He's got the slipstream. Looks to the inside. Oh my word, the lag. Gee whiz. That was close. Fortunately, no major contact. Towards turn 4. Not close enough to do anything through here. Man, oh man. Lag made it look pretty bad through there. Fortunately, nothing bad happened. Oh, Wombat though has had a moment. That is at turn 7. He now drops behind his teammate. He is now in 7th position. Oh dear, fighting up in the top 5. He's thrown it away and now has 2 Ferraris right on the back of him. Bumped on a 3-second time penalty, similar story. Oh, he's trying to go into the pits. Phil follows? Is that Phil? No, it's Take It Easy. He was caught right behind Wombat. I thought he was going into the pits with him, but no, that's not what he's doing. Wombat's pitted onto the medium tyre. Is he two-stopping? Is that what he's doing? It's lap 12. It's really early to come in. I don't really think the two-stop can work. Can it? I don't think it can. Through turn 3, onto the back straight away. Sub half a second behind. Nas gets by Sparty. That's for P10. Bompton closing in on Saucy as we head through turn 7, around turn 8. His medium tyres still doing a pretty solid job right now. We head around turn 9. Towards turn 10. Now, lap 13. No one else is pitted, so if Mighty Wombat's doing a 2-stop, he is the only driver doing it. Which is very bewildering to me. Why you would try something like that. And I don't really think you can do 24 laps on the mediums. That seems like too much of a stretch. Towards turn 4. Stubbly, he's starting to work away here at Rebel, so this is on. Take it easy, gets by Professor Phil. Sub for Lime hovering behind. It's close, he is close. Not close enough, unfortunately. Through turn 9, down the hill towards turn 10. Yeah, Saucy just not close enough. Blockman's got good pace right now. He's trying to close in on Stubbly. Tell you what, if we get another Alpine double podium, they're really going to extend their lead in the team's championship. They're going to be super tough to beat. No one else really in a position to do anything, except for maybe Sergeant Bill here. Not close enough to attack through turn 1, as Wombat sets the new fastest lap with a 7.083. Plenty of battery, plenty of DRS, plenty of slipstream, draws alongside, up the hill towards turn 3. Can't get it done yet. It does get it done. Bit clumsy, but he gets through. And Flavius lost a fair chunk of time. Stuck on the outside there. Now down in 13th position. Down the hill. Through turn 7, round turn 8. Up the hill, over the crest. Sub is in. He's moving into pit lane. Nas drives around him. That was well read there by Mr. Nas. Alright, new tyres for Sub. Checked it up nice and early, made sure he didn't get a speeding penalty. Have a quick squiz of this as well, because Saucy closed in by a fair chunk on that straight. He closed in here as well, not by enough. But he's keeping the pressure up. He's not letting Blockman just drive away with this. He's going to try and give him a fight, give him a headache. Sub will come out in 15th, 7.6 seconds behind the next car. And he's set to go to the end of the race on those tyres. Maybe that's why he pitted onto the soft tyre. He wanted to do a small stint on the softs. Oh, is that KD? It is KD! He's made a mistake at the exit of turn 8. 8th place now, 9th place now. Oh, dearie me. Both Mercs in trouble here at the Red Bull Ring. Oh. Speaking of Merc, down the inside of turn 9 of all places, Wombat's through into 12th. That was a tidy overtake. His next target will be Sergeant Bill in P11. Rebel still leading the way. Big tank slapper though, exiting turn 4. I was about to say Rebel looks pretty in control, but judging by turn 4, he's not completely in control. He needs to remain focused, make sure he keeps those mistakes to a minimum. Head around turn 9, down the hill towards 10. Oh, Saucy has made a mistake at turn 8. Oh, everything I said about Blockman and Saucy putting pressure on Blockman. Well, he just put pressure on himself now. A mistake at turn 8. He's now down in 5th position, a whopping 8 seconds behind Bompton. Oh, podium gone. Take it easy is into the pits. He'll be moving off those mediums and onto a set of hard tyres. No, both Ferraris have kept pretty well out of trouble, although Phil almost put himself in trouble there at the exit of turn 1. No, both Ferraris doing alright right now. Need to keep this performance up. I reckon they're both on for a top 10. Maybe even Sparty as well. It'll be a bit close for Sparty and Bill. I guess it depends on what Wombat can do with a two-stopper. Keep our eyes on this. Stubley stays out for another lap. Keep an eye on that dark blue dot heading towards pit lane. No, Bompton stays out. What about Professor Phil then in the Ferrari? His teammate has just pit onto a set of hards. What will Phil do? He moves across. Nice, reads it. Moves through into 6th position now. Phil into pit lane. Bompton, Stubley. When will they pit? We're closing in on the halfway mark in this Grand Prix. In fairness to Stubley, I don't think there's any reason to pit yet. Still got pretty good performance on these medium compound tyres. And by sticking in the DRS, you're always gaining time down the straights. Let's see what he does. Use a bit of battery. Rebel's low. Yeah, flashing red light on the back of the car. He was low on battery. So yeah, Stubley's staying out for another. He's pretty happy with the tyres he's got right now. Wombat getting by Sparty. Down the inside through turn 6. There we are. P9 is his. We got Sergeant Bill. Oh, what's happened with Rebel? He moves down to P2. Oh, he's left the session. He's DC'd. The race leader has DC'd. Stubley is our new race leader. And this is a perfect opportunity for Stubley to pit. While his main rival is losing time, he can pit onto fresh tyres and send it. And looking at the field, it's pretty well spread out right now, so there's a fairly high chance he'll find some clear track. KD, Nars, side by side through turn 3. KD wide, Nars fighting back. Who's got DRS? Who's got it? Neither? No, surely Mr. Nars got some, although I've got nothing on my screen. Down the inside at turn 4. KD overshoots it. Big lock-up. Nars read the lock-up. Opened up the steering, made sure there wasn't contact. And Stubley's still going. I would have taken the opportunity to pit. Bompton's in. Oh, and that doesn't help. 5-second time penalty for speeding. Onto the mediums he goes. Wombat. I imagine his next pit window is lap 24. If he's splitting this race into thirds. Yeah, hopefully Rebels found an invite or something from someone. I can't invite him. I've got that friends list glitch that doesn't allow me to invite anybody during crossplay events. Considering he's on PC as well, I can't send him a PlayStation invite. So, hopefully he can find a way back in. Otherwise, this is race win out the window. Stubley's in. In. Should be a set of hard tyres waiting at the Aston Martin garage. There goes the AI of Rebel. Set of hard tyres bolted on Stubley's car. Away he leaves. Here comes Saucy, his teammate, heading around turn 1. So Saucy, after that spin, he ends up in front of his teammate, but he's still got a pit stop to make. KD's yet to stop. There's a fair few drivers still yet to stop. Closest battle we have right now, guess it's for 13th. Lime and Phil heading up into turn 2. And the opening corner, DRS open on the Ferrari. Got a bit of battery to play with. He's got slipstream into turn 3. Not close enough to do anything just yet. Look at this. He still hasn't rejoined. Surely someone's done something to bring him in. I wish I could do something, but I can't do anything from my position. I've got that friends list glitch where I can't invite anybody, so... Saucy's in. He'll be moving on to a set of mediums. KD moves up. Mr. Nars, Wombat. Pretty certain Wombat's trying to do a 2-stopper here. I'm pretty certain. There's no way those mediums can do 24 laps, surely. Team drivers do 20, 24? That's a stretch. Here comes Wombat on Nars. Nars can't fight that one. Wombat moves through into P6. KD will be his next target. In comes Blockman. He'll be pitting onto a set of mediums. The gap between Stubbly and Blockman is 12 seconds, so Stubbly will retake the lead. Oh, yellow's out. It's sub for Lime. Spinning at turn 4. Rebel's still out there. Can he find a way in? Something, anything. Bompton gets in front of Blockman. Well, Blockman, he's on those mediums. He's going to be quick. The gap between Blockman and Stubbly is 6.5 seconds. Can Blockman close the gap? Wombat moves through. He overtakes KD. Mr. Nars still on the back of this. These fellas still have to make a pit stop. So Wombat, he's actually in a pretty solid position-wise. He's looking pretty solid. Because a fair few of his rivals still need to make a pit stop. So he could make this 2-stopper work. Take it easy, overtakes Professor Phil. I can't do anything, man. I wish I could re-invite you, but I can't. But I'm surprised no one's actually sent you an invite. I know Sub is the host. I'm surprised he hasn't done anything. But yeah, I can't do a thing from my position. Like, if I go over to friends... Oh, hang on. Can I actually? Hang on. When was this fixed? Rebel. Do I not have you as a friend? Oh, do I not have you as a friend? Yeah, friends. Yeah, no, you're not on. I don't have you as a friend. I'm sorry. I didn't think they fixed that. They have fixed it. How about that? Well, I don't have you as a friend, Rebel. I can't invite you. As Blockman is looking around the outside. Oh, I've received one. Can I accept? Oop, wrong button. Give me a minute. Alright, that one. Accept. We're doing the Lord's work here, ladies and gentlemen. Can I see you? Hang on, we'll let the thingy reset. As I think that's Bompton, and at least we've got a bit of action going on in the background. Those two are still battling away. I'll scroll down. You might be appearing offline. Where are you? Oh wait, is it not in alphabetical? Aha! Yes, I have sent an invite. Okay, you were offline. Alright, hopefully that worked. Can you rejoin? Katie's coming out of the pits now. He's on a set of mediums. Oh, wow! He lost control on a set of mediums. Got on the go juice a bit too much and he's lost control. Almost collected a Ferrari. He's now down in 15th with that mistake. I didn't think they fixed the friends list stuff. I'm surprised. They must have done a hot fix because they haven't done an update. Come on, surely you were able to join through that, Rebel. Surely. Surely. Oh, I guess only time will tell. At least your AI is still going. It's not giving up on those hard compound tyres. It is still going. So if you can find a way in. Yeah, no, I'm surprised. As Saucy moves through, overtakes Mr. Nars, he's into P6. So yeah, there must have been a hot fix for that. Alright, that's good to know. I'll have to get a few people's rain requests. Rain was coming, just relaunched. I see. Well, the track is dark. So you might luck out. If you can join and you're still on the hards, if the rain does come, you're still in a decent-ish position. Yeah, hang on. As well, there goes your teammate. I have to scroll down. No. Alright, go! Yeah, okay, that's the only way I've got to do it. Go! Get down, down. Oh, you're appearing online now, damn it. Up! Too far up. There you are. Yes, I have sent the invite. Get in here. Oh, damn me having too many friends. Oh. Youngling gets by Flavius. That is for P12. Thankfully, the gaps are pretty well spread out right now, so there's not too much going on in terms of action. But we might get something. If you're right, Rebel, and we got rain coming, that will shake things up. Your AI is still going, by the way. It is still on hard tyres. You're still in P4. And Bompton has a 3 second, if I recall. 8 seconds. So there's a chance for a podium if the rain does come. And I think it started. Has it? No, that was a glitch. That was just a little light glitch I saw then. I thought I saw a flash of something. I'm like, oh, that might be rain. It's not rain. It's not rain. It's not rain. Not yet. Sergeant Bell onto a set of soft tyres. He is going to send it. Fair play. Flavius is in. KD. Ah, what a torrid race he's having right now. He's on fresh tyres. He'll have pace. He also has a new set of pedals. I haven't mentioned that. Last week he broke his pedals out, Circuit Paul Ricard, or rather broke one pedal, broke a spring in that pedal. So he's ordered a new set, so he might be a little bit fresh with the pedals. But yeah, it's still not a great race session for KD at all. Take it easy on Insane Sparty. Sparty can go to the end on those tyres. He is set to go to the end. Have you rejoined us? Not yet. Oh, hopefully that invite works. If it doesn't, I'll be extremely confused on why it doesn't work. Once more? I can give you one more. Very well. We're not giving up on this. It never appeared. Rebel. Aim invite sent. There we go. That should work. I will send two. As I believe this Ferrari's going to pass the AlphaTauri. I sent two. Hopefully it appears. Take it easy. Gets in front of Sparty. There's the rain. The rain has come. The rain is here. It is present. On lap 31 of 36. Your AI is still going. It is not giving up on those tyres. Your AI refuses to pit. In fact, it's attacking Saucy. It looks to the inside. As soon as I click it, nothing happens. Oh, fudge. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I tried. I would have done it earlier if I'd known they did a hot fix. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. Like I said, I would have done it earlier if I knew there was a hot fix for that, because I thought the friends list was still bugged. Because previously, if you had like over 100 friends, no one would pop up on your friends list, but it seems that it actually works now. So Sparty now down to P12. He's waiting for the intermediate conditions to come. The field was pretty spread out, to be fair, Rebel, so we probably didn't miss a great deal. As Youngling moves down to 12th, he must have made a mistake. As Rebel, your AI is in! What does he pit onto? Ooh, this will be a nice indication. What does the AI do? That's softs. So your AI is going to send it on the soft tyre. I reckon it might finish 7th, maybe. Saucy, Mighty Wombat battling away as we head around turn 3 and onto the back straightaway. 4/10, half a second as we head towards turn 4. There's a shot your AI will finish in the top 10. I don't think it'll be classified for points, but hey, you know, it's the silver lining to a very dark cloud that seems to have come across the Red Bull ring. A fairly dark cloud anyway. Sergeant Bell gets by Professor Phil. That is for P9. Ooh, a bit of a wiggle there from Phil as well. Alright. Well, it seems that the track isn't evolving particularly quickly, so we might stay dry for the rest of the race. Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. I don't believe so. Unless you... I think that's something you're going to have to talk to with the table coordinator. I know there's a minimum lap requirement that you have to do. I don't know. I don't know. Because I know you've made attempts to try and get back in. I know that because I've tried to get you back in. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's just something you're going to have to talk to with the coordinators. See if you can score something. But you'll score points for the sprint, of course. Because you were there for all of that. So... yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. It sucks though. I know the feeling. It really does suck. Yeah, that's it. I have proof I've tried that. I tried to get back in. I damn well tried. It seems that Bompton as well might hang on to a podium. He's got 8 seconds worth of penalties, but he's got 9.2 seconds as a gap. As who's that? Punk DTS. Who on earth is that? That's it seems that the gap's pretty spread out. The track is getting wetter, but if it does turn to intermediate conditions, it'll only be on the last lap. Ah, I see. Your poor closet door. It got totoed. 2 laps to go here at the Red Bull Ring. 3.5 seconds is the gap. All that Stubbly needs to do is to not make any mistakes and pray that it doesn't get wet enough so those hard tyres become useless. Phil under attack from Youngling. Eesh, tight through turn 4. Youngling gets in front. He's on the medium tyre, which is a better tyre to be on in these conditions. And I'd like you to note as well, Rebellion, you're actually pulling away. Which, to be completely frank, is not surprising. 2 reasons. 1, it's damp, so the soft tyre is the tyre to be on. And 2, the AI are gods. In these kinds of conditions because they've got all the traction in the world. They've got infinite traction. So your AI might challenge Nars for PC. Phil's a bit too far behind now. KD's a bit too far behind. Yeah, that's it. Blockman, yeah, I'm afraid he's out of laps to try and challenge Stubbly here. It's all down to Stubbly. The only driver that can stop Stubbly from winning this race is Stubbly himself. So, all he needs to do is dawdle around the circuit for a bit over 2.5 miles. And the race win will be his. And that gap has shrunk between your AI and Mr. Nars. So, yeah, the Rebel AI... going to try and recover some lost positions. Yes, that is true. Yeah, Blockman's going to take a bit of a chunk out of Saucy and Mighty Wombat, but they're still in the top 5. So, yeah, that top 3 fight, Blockman, Saucy and Wombat, that's going to be interesting to keep tabs on throughout the rest of this championship season. But as of right now, the focus is on this man, Stubbly. He's driven well, no faults, no complaints. He'll come around the final corner to take the win here for the Austrian Grand Prix. Blockman home in P2, 2.1 seconds behind. Bompton, I believe, will hang on to 3rd place. Gap 8.9. Yeah, I don't think Saucy will get there in time. He's just going to miss out on a podium finish. Mighty Wombat will come home in P5, followed by, or is it the AI or is it Mr. Nars that will come home in P6? The AI is dumping the battery. Look at it go. It's giving it some. Around turn 9. Around the final corner. Wasn't quite enough. Mr. Nars P6. Rebels AI in 7th. Followed by Take It Easy, Sergeant Bell, and Youngling rounds out the top 10. Professor Phil, KD, what a torrid race he's had. P12 at the end of this. And you have Insane Sparty, Subfaline, then Flavius. Especially the AI, because we know how rubbish the AI is. But in the wet, AI are actually pretty quick. Take It Easy, given driver of the day, will see his performance in the final results screen. But now it's time for the podium celebrations. Oh, what a weird race we've had here at the Red Bull Ring. We had drama, we've had action, we've had good driving, we had bad driving. Yeah, at the end of the day, it will be Stubbly who takes the win. Blockman will come home in 2nd place. He'll close the gap to Saucy and Mighty Wombat in the Drivers' Championship. P3 goes to reserve driver Bompton. The unofficial results then of the Austrian Grand Prix. Stubbly is your race winner by 2.1 seconds to Blockman. Bompton, even with 8 seconds worth of penalties, hangs on to a podium finish by a shade under 1 second to Saucy in P4. Mighty Wombat will complete the top 5 with Mr. Nars P6, followed by Rebels AI in 7th. It drove quite well at the end of that. Take It Easy in 8th, Sergeant Bill in 9th, Youngling P10. Then we have Professor Phil, KD, and Saint Sparty Subferline. Flavius will score a point, and then our retirements of John C, RF1 Tom, and the Harmisters, 3 retirements over the course of that race. In regards to your comment, Rebellion, it's completely fine. I work to be as helpful and as entertaining as possible. So if it falls onto me to try and get somebody back in, I can try and do it now. I wasn't able to in the past because, yeah, I couldn't see anybody on a friends list. But now I can, magically. I don't know. There hasn't been an update, an actual update to this game. So they must have done a hotfix at some point. Either that or just it just decided to work today. I don't know. But it's completely fine. I am more than happy to try and help, as well as try and entertain. Who won this again? Oh yes, Aston Martin. Yes. But no, that was an interesting stream. A lot of just about everything in sort of small little increments. There was a bit of boring tossed in all the way through that, but you know, that's Formula One. You get boring every now and then. But there was some pockets of drama, action, good side-by-side racing, not so good side-by-side racing, and you know, it was good. But a final shout out to the top 3. Congratulations to Bompton, drove well, kept out of trouble. The time penalties could have pushed you off the podium, but you had the gap at the end, and it meant that you came home in 3rd. We had Blockman home in P2. Again, big points for the Drivers' Championship. In the context of the Drivers' Championship, you're just chipping away at both Saucy and Mighty Wombat. So that's going to be an interesting fight. And congrats to Stubbly as well, winning the main race here in Austria. Put together a fine drive. Didn't make a mistake. No real complaints at all. Just really good driving. And he ended up taking the win. So congrats on that. But I think, folks, with everything said and done, it's now time for us to end the stream. I've been Lane Everingham. Thank you everyone so much for watching. And we'll see you next week for round 13 of the championship at Baku City Circuit for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Yeah, I don't think the drama's ended yet. We've got an interesting event coming up next week over in Baku. Until then, though, it's goodbye.